How many times has it happened to us that a new year begins? We make a list of goals we want to achieve, like getting in shape or starting a business, but we end up doing nothing. At first, we have all the motivation, but after a few months, we stop going to the gym as often, and we stop using the free hours we have to work on the business we wanted to start. A few months later, we are back to the same old habits, and everything stays the same. In his book, Just Shut Up and Do It, Brian Tracy asks why only a very small percentage of people actually achieve what they set out to do. The answer he found is that success depends on what we do, the results we get, and how long it takes us to get those results. A company's most valuable asset is its reputation. If it collapses, investors abandon it, customers stop buying, and it will most likely go bankrupt. The same thing happens with us. Our reputation, what other people think of us, and what we think of ourselves, is extremely important. Every time we say we are going to do something and then we do not follow through, that reputation and our credibility go down. It is better not to talk about what we want to do or achieve, but simply work on our goals in silence and let the results speak for us. Tracy gives us 7 steps to become part of that small percentage of people who achieve what they set out to do. The first thing we have to do is eliminate negative habits. 95% of what we do or do not do every day is not decided consciously. We do it on autopilot. And what controls that autopilot? Our habits. Negative habits are the biggest obstacle to achieving what we want. And the worst part is that we did not choose them. From the time we were young, our parents, teachers, friends, and what we saw in our environment were shaping our habits. If our friends liked playing soccer, then we liked it too. The problem is that many of those habits are not good. If we grew up in a family that complained about everything, we probably do the same without even realizing it. If we were able to learn those negative habits, we can also unlearn them. It is like uninstalling an old program and installing a new one. Repetition plus practice equals a new habit. But this takes time, and that is where excusitis appears. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have experience. But it is very simple. We either do it or we do not do it. It does not matter what excuse we want to invent. The problem is that many of us live on an island called someday. Someday I'll wake up earlier. Someday I'll start saving. Someday I'll start my business. The only way to get off this island is through immediate action. The second step is to take control of our lives. This is something that may make us uncomfortable, but it is the truth. We are 100% responsible for our lives. What we have, what we do not have, what we have achieved, and what we have not achieved is our responsibility and no one else's. It is not the government's fault or our parents' fault or bad luck. When we take responsibility for everything that happens to us, we stop being victims and become the main character. This is the biggest difference between those who achieve their goals and those who do not. Some accept full responsibility for their results, and the others always have someone to blame. The author tells us that when we feel angry or frustrated with a situation or with someone, we should say to ourselves, "I am responsible." This does not mean that everything is our fault, but that we can always decide how to respond. And that puts us back in control of the situation. If we are responsible, we can change it, but if it is someone else's fault, then we can do absolutely nothing. And that is how we begin to look for solutions instead of excuses. The third step is to dare to move forward. If we want to achieve something big, we need to be action-oriented. This means that when we have a goal, we do not spend weeks analyzing what we are going to do or planning how we are going to do it. We simply start with the knowledge and resources we already have. The main problem with being action-oriented is fear. Most of us do not start acting because of fear of failure, fear of what people will say about us, fear of looking ridiculous, or fear of losing money. The only way to overcome those fears is to do exactly what scares us. How do we stop being afraid of swimming? We can watch thousands of videos and learn different techniques, but until we get in the water, we are not going to learn. Darren Hardy, editor of Success magazine, said, "To be afraid is to hand over your power. Do what scares you and you'll get it back." Another thing we can do to stay action-oriented is to replace the word failure with learning. When we fail, our brain understands that we are bad at something. But when we have a learning experience, our brain understands that we are growing. Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, was told no 1,009 times when he presented his idea. But because he was an action-oriented person, he never stopped knocking on doors until someone finally said yes, and the rest is history. The fourth step is to decide what we really want. We become what we think about most of the time. Our outer world is simply a reflection of our inner world. If we want to change something on the outside, we have to start by changing what we think and what we believe. We must not confuse wishes with goals, and this is where we need to see what it is that we really want. If we say, "I want to get in shape," that is only a wish we have. But if we say, "I want to lose 5 kilos in 60 days by eating healthy and training 3 times a week," that is a clear, measurable, and realistic goal. The author suggests that we should see our life as if it were a company, because companies do not grow by accident. They have a plan, goals, and a direction. We should all take some time to write down our values. What really matters to us? What is non-negotiable in our life? Our values are the compass that guides us in every decision. Without them, we get lost. Our vision. What do we want our life to look like in 5, 10, or 20 years? If we do not have a vision, any road seems like a good one. Our mission. What do we contribute to the world? A mission gives meaning to what we do. Our purpose. Why do we do what we do every day? For money? Out of routine? When we have a clear purpose, we do not have to keep searching for motivation. Our goals. What exactly do we want to achieve? Not wishes, but measurable goals with a time limit, because what is not measured cannot be improved. Our priorities. We cannot do everything. We have to look at what we are going to focus on first. And that means saying no to many things that do not bring us closer to where we want to be. And our actions. Does what we do today bring us closer to our vision? None of the above is useful if we do not do things that align with our values, mission, purpose, and goals. Something that helps us achieve our goals is writing them down. Only 3% of people write down their goals in order to have a clear action plan. First, we have to decide clearly what we want. Then, write it down. If we leave it only in our head, it is much easier to forget it. After that, set a deadline, then make a list of everything we can think of to achieve it, and organize it in order of importance. The next step is to act immediately on the most important things, and finally to do something every day that brings us closer to the goal, no matter how small it is. The fifth step is to overcome procrastination. If there is one habit that keeps us from being action-oriented, it is procrastination. Everyone procrastinates. Everyone knows what they have to do but leaves it for later, and many times that later turns into never. Achieving goals happens when we start an important task and finish it as quickly as possible. As I already told you, we all procrastinate, but the difference is that the people who do achieve their goals postpone the activities that do not contribute much to their lives. The rest postpone, according to the Pareto principle, the 20% of actions that give them 80% of their progress. The sixth step is to become a lifelong learner. There are 2 emotions that keep us from being productive: doubt and fear. Doubting ourselves is one of the most destructive negative emotions, and the fear of failing paralyzes us. It does not let us act, even when we know what we want. The antidotes to doubt and fear are knowledge and skills. The more knowledge we have about a subject, the less we will doubt ourselves, and if we become highly skilled at something, the less fear we will have when it is time to act, because deep down we know we can do that task and any other one as well. And the 7th step is to never give up. The founder of Success magazine shared one of the most important principles of success. There are 2 parts to success. The first is getting there, and the second is staying there. Many people manage to start, but very few have the discipline to keep going when difficult moments arrive. The important thing is to start and keep moving forward. As the legendary coach Vince Lombardi said, "Winners never quit, and quitters never win." And to win, we need self-discipline, because persistence is a habit, and through practice and repetition we can develop it. Only we are responsible for whether we achieve what we want or not.